All right, we are live. Welcome to What's Up in Local Music, everybody. My name is Ken Abrams from What's Up Noop, and we are back with What's Up in Local Music after a brief hiatus, probably a year, 18 months since we last did this, but we thought it would be a good thing to bring back to you on an occasional basis, introducing you to artists, singer-songwriters, etc. around the region. And tonight we've got a real special guest, a good friend of mine and a great singer-songwriter, Jake Hunsinger. And you should be seeing Jake on the screen. Hopefully you are.
I really hope so too.
And hearing him. Yeah, Jake's in a car. No, that's not it. He doesn't live in a car, but he is tonight going to talk to us from his car outside the parlor in Providence, right, Jake?
That's right. Yep. I go on at 7:45 ish. At the parlor. So
Good. We have a little while. We're broadcasting on Facebook Live. We're also on YouTube, and we save these so that we can go back and check out, the latest stream from some local artists that we're hopefully going to have a full collection of soon. But anyway, you're at the parlor, which is one of the great, I don't want to call it dive bar, but we use that term lovingly around here, and clearly the parlor is a strong one. Apologize for the dog barking, everybody. We're going to try to work on that shortly. But Jake, could we start off? Just tell us a little bit about your background, how you get into the Rhode Island music scene, and sort of what you're all about.
All right, thanks, Ken. So, first of all, I'm really happy to be here. My name is Jake Hunsinger. I'm from Hazleton, Pennsylvania, but I live in Cranston, Rhode Island right now. I'm a country singer, and it took me a while to be comfortable saying I'm a country singer because everybody has a different idea of what that is. I got into the Rhode Island music scene kind of around college, so like when I was 18. So I've always kind of been paying a little bit of attention to it. I remember going to the News Cafe when I was 16 to see my friend's band. The band was called Milo Bigwig or Milo Bigwig, I can't remember, but they were awesome. They were a real cool rock and roll band, and I've just been kind of drawn to the Providence music scene because it just seemed like there was so much going on, like that even like someone like in high school who has really no feelers out to Providence was aware of. Motif magazine was actually a big part of my reading, to like get me interested in all that. So that kind of made me very aware of all the happenings.
Yeah, Motif is great for the local arts community, and as you said, Providence really in Rhode Island has a great scene, particularly for a small state, a small sometimes has a small town atmosphere, but we're not quite Nashville or New Orleans or even Boston, but we're close in many ways, and that's something that's great about the scene up here. You describe yourself as a country singer, and I do the same. At first, I was going to sort of promote you as a roots Americana. I'm like, you know what? He's pure country, and not the stuff you necessarily hear on country radio these days, but what I would consider traditional country. Talk to us a little bit about sort of who your influences are, and a little more about your take on country music, while I go take care of the dog.
All right. Before you do that, what kind of dog do you got?
Well, the dog is a Havanese. I'm going to bring him up, ladies and gentlemen who are viewing. And he's originally they were bred in Havana, Cuba, Havanese. Small little thing, but you'll love his name, Wilco.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. Oh, man.
Oh, yeah, big Wilco fan, obviously. So I'll go get Wilco. Tell us a little bit about sort of your understanding and your take and how you sort of reflect country music.
All right. So for me, like, country music is like an American cultural practice. Like I think it's like quintessentially an art form that American history is tied to. Same thing with like with jazz, where it's always been just the music that people were making in some way. We called it different things, but it was always just there. And what I like love about country music is how bent it is. Like there's so there's like two types of music. Okay, they're back in like like recording era's infancy. You had slow music and you had fast music, but hillbilly music, country music, that was from working folks, who were singing in church or were trying to entertain themselves when they had very little to actually entertain themselves with. And the progression of country music to what it is today is really fascinating. Because I'm not going to say that like radio country is not country music. It truly is. It's just representative of a more suburbanization of the country. But I don't have to dwell on that too much. My favorite singers, are George Jones, Keith Whitley, Randy Travis. But I was raised on Jones. My dad is a big George Jones fan, but also John Prine and great writers, like Hank and Merle too. Merle Haggard was probably like the first one that made me go, oh wait, no, I want to be a country singer, because he was just cool. The man was just so cool. Everything about him and all of his whole body of work. There's nothing. There's no eras that make you go, why did he do this? And I think it's incredibly impressive to have a whole body of work that's consistent like that. So Merle, George, John Prine, Keith Whitley,
and probably a little Johnny Cash thrown in there too, right?
That is a big misconception, because people think because I got the low voice, I can go super low. Oh man, I must love Johnny Cash. It happens to me every time I play a show. Sing Johnny Cash. I'll sing one of the three that everybody knows. And they're like, I figured you'd love him because you can go so low. And you're like, well, no, I like the songbirdie types. Johnny Cash was awesome, and I certainly do love him, but I think he's largely misunderstood as a country singer. So yes, but not quite.
Gotcha. Well, as you said, and we're going to have you sing a song in a minute, but when I hear your voice, it has that sort of deeper Johnny Cash drawl versus, say, a Hank Williams, who you mentioned as an influence, but had a sort of a different sound and recorded, of course, 40, 50 years before Cash. Excuse the dog again. Excuse Wilco, everybody. Let's hear a song. You're out there on the street on North Main or on the side street there in Providence. Hung out there many a time. Go ahead and sing for us. Tell us what you're going to play.
All right, so this song goes out to Wilco. This song is called "The Day My Life Began." I didn't think much of it when I wrote it, but folks seem to like it a lot, so it went on the album. It goes like this. It's been awful quiet every day since you've last called. The longer this goes on, the worse it gets. Since the day that I first said I loved you, since the day my life began. Lately, all I seem to do is drive around all night. And I don't like the way things have been. Because the day that I first said I loved you, was the day my life began. I love you more than ever, and that's more than you deserve. You made me someone else completely, went away without a word. But somewhere behind weary eyes, I think that I can see that some things won't always be so bad. Because the day that I first said I love you. Oh, oh. Was the day my life began. Because the day that I first said I loved you, oh, was the day my life began.
Very, very nice, and not bad from the car parked along North Main there. Um, thank
There's
you,
a man
Jake.
staring at me. He might break into this car at some point during this stream. So
That
help.
can happen, that can happen over there. It's really again, we're starting the series up on What's Up Noop, What's Up in Live Music, and tonight's sort of a test run. We're going to have you back on a night when the dog is being in another location, is being watched. But we really appreciate you playing that. Where can we find your music? Is it on Bandcamp at the moment?
So, oh, geez, I think I might be the only person I know who has not all of the music on Bandcamp. It's because I was so preoccupied with getting all the streaming done the right way. And that's how. So when we put out our album, that song I just played, "The Day My Life Began," it was on a larger album called "Wrapped Around the Axle." Came out on CD in August, and then it came out on streaming in September. And the big thing for our publicist, was getting all the streaming out and getting all that, on playlists and making sure that the album was getting to the corners that it needed to get to, and yeah, I did not think about Bandcamp, and that makes me a bad independent artist, or at least a lazy one. So I gotta fix that. So thank you for reminding me to do my homework. Um, but I'm on all streaming services, so Apple Music, Spotify, Deezer, Tidal. I'm on the Jay-Z music app, everybody. Like, it might just be me and Jay-Z on there right now, but I'm on there.
I had Title for a while. I did use Title at one point. I had a discount. I've used them all, but I had Title for a good year. So that was Jack White too was very involved in that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot that he was one of the signatories at that Declaration of Independence thing. Oh wow, wow. I remember that now, and you bring me back. But I'm also, I don't know if I said it before, but I'll say it again. I'm on Amazon too. My Aunt Kathy was really happy about that. So
I actually I subscribed to the Amazon because I quit Spotify during the whole Neil Young fiasco a
yeah.
while back. Even I didn't really quit it, but I stopped paying for a while. So
Mhm.
streaming music, how do you feel about? I mean, you've grown up with technology and streaming. I mean, how old are you, Jake? First of all, let's start.
Well, I'm 25.
Okay, mid-20s. So, folks, he's definitely grown up with streaming. A lot of us, remember the days, going back to vinyl, cassette, and of course CD. What's your opinion on, the benefits, strengths, and weaknesses of streaming?
So let's start with the good things. I have listeners in the Netherlands and Germany and Ukraine, which I thought was really cool. And I don't think that would be possible without streaming. I'm going on tour in Texas in March because I'm able to share my music so easily. I've connected with a whole bunch of folks all over the world who appreciate country music like the way that I do, and I always think it's so cool to like. I have a friend in Australia and a friend in Malaysia who just love George Jones as much as I do, and that's because they had streaming. Um, and I'm also able to play as much as I do. I play during the busier months 5 to 6, but like during the colder months around 4 shows a week, and that's because I'm able to just send a link and say, hey, this is me. And also I'm very much on the go all the time, so not having those CDs means I can listen to something or I can experience something anywhere. And I think the beauty of that is always kind of forgotten because we've gotten so comfortable having it.
Right.
Be that may, I have to play 5, 6 shows a week to to live. I only do music for work. And while I love performing, and I was a teacher before I did this, and I'd rather do this any day of the week, so I do. Um, it would be nice. It would be nice to have a little bit more, income from people, buying and listening to my music. Honestly, it's not even the platform's fault. It's the reality of just who's actually listening to your music. Because streaming is great. The problem
Yeah.
that people always kind of have is the payout. Now we also do CDs. We do a whole bunch of stuff because people do like physical media. Actually, so I'm gonna put this guitar over here real quick. Something I got for Christmas, which I was listening to on the way to the parlor. The glare from my phone is kind of ruining it, but it's the George Jones 50 Years of Hits. And next to that is Garth Brooks, Blame It All on My Roots. 5 decades of influences. And this has 8 CDs of Garth Brooks music in it. And it's not just him like singing his songs. Here's one that's him doing all of American music. So like he's doing Maggie May, actually just sorry, let me clarify. World music, music from all over. Maggie May, Who'll Stop the Rain, Doctor My Eyes. He's just doing stuff that influenced him. I didn't know this existed until Christmas.
That's the George. I'm sorry. That's who's
Garth
that? Garth Brooks, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's another one of him doing classic country. So he's doing George Jones. He's doing Merle Haggard. He's doing Mel Tillis. A bunch of things.
Cool.
These CDs are awesome. So like I like physical media.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I mean, I could reach up. I've got albums, LPs, and I've got CDs, and part of it's because I'm a DJ. Although, again, a lot of music, even DJs are playing, is digital. It's funny because you mentioned not having to sort of drag around CDs and the inconvenience of CDs. But I remember back when tapes came out. You could play a tape in the car, cassette tapes. You couldn't play an album. They tried it, but it didn't quite work. Couldn't play a vinyl in the car. But you could play CDs and tapes, of course, and that was the convenience factor. And now CDs are inconvenient. I get it. I mean, I tend to I take my CDs when I buy them because I want to support the artist, and I immediately digitize them. I put them on my computer, on my phone, whatever, and I have access to them. And we're into music, so we're more plugged in. The average person maybe not as plugged in is going to use digital more and more, and they're just used to it. If you grow up with it, it's like free TV is the way I think of it. They're commercials. You might pay for cable, but when I was growing up, I mean, TV, of course, TV is free. You wouldn't have thought to pay for TV. So it is what it is. It's here to stay, no doubt. And as you said, most of the the income is going to come from touring and performing.
Yeah, and I will say, like, what is also a negative about the streaming is also a little bit of a positive to me, is because music is free now. And I think that's actually very beautiful. Like, everything, if somebody can hear me anywhere and enjoy that, why would I want to charge them for that? Like, that's why we're on YouTube too. All my music's on YouTube, just so anybody can listen to it. I've given up on the Spotify money idea, and I'm just putting a lot of my effort into increasing the platform so people can stream me and then come see me.
Sure.
I solo or with the band.
Well, that's a good sentiment. Absolutely. Once again, we're here on What's Up Noops, What's Up in Local Music, and we're here with Jake Hunsinger. And I did put the rockbottomband.com link on the screen, so you can look up the band there, learn a little more. And Wilco the dog here is still chirping away. I was inspired by a Sirius XM DJ, Meg Griffin, who has her dog in the studio all the time. She does a show a couple of times a week. And she's always talking about Gracie the dog. Gracie's very well behaved. So we're going to have to work on Wilco here to try to be in the room when we broadcast. Do we have time for another song? Can you give us one more, Jake, before we finish up? Please. Again, Jake's on North Main Street outside the Parlor in Providence. And tell us what you're going to play.
All right. Excuse me. So this song is called. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm good enough. This song is the second to last song on the album, and it's called "Keep Me in Mind." And I really didn't want to call it that because I feel like there's a bunch of other songs called that, but it worked how it worked. So, I'm not going to fight it. It goes like this. May I'll forever be the one that you thought you knew. 'Cause lately I've been thinking, is what I do when I've been drinking. Wondered what you would do if you weren't afraid. What do you think would happen? Well, I don't know. I'm only asking because who we were years ago is not important anymore. This is how love changed us. What good was it for? Love that lasts forever. That only sounds like a long time. But I don't think I'll miss you so long as you keep me in mind. If I had the choice, but I'd have stuck around. But you thought a little different, and your mother was so persistent. Still, we gave it all we could, and then a little more for the sake of how we started. Doing was what we wanted, because who we were years ago is not important anymore. If this is how love changed us, then what good was it for? Love that lasts forever now only sounds like a long time. But I don't think I'll miss you so long as you keep me in mind. I don't think I'll miss you so long as you keep me in mind.
Very, very nice. Jake Hunsinger, everybody. That he's sitting outside the parlor in Providence getting ready to do a set in about 15 minutes. So we'll only keep another minute or two. But really appreciate you being here. It's not easy. The good news this winter without the snow, I mean, I'm not a snow lover. I know some people are, but we haven't seen a lot of gigs canceled. So that's good. And COVID and those concerns are sort of waning a little bit. So people are getting out, a lot of gigs out there. What do you have coming up? What are some upcoming gigs that you have?
Oh, so I'm happy you asked because
check your phone if you need to. Absolutely.
Yeah. Is my camera still on? Can you still see me?
We lost you actually, but
as long
go ahead.
as you hear me.
Jake's telling us about his gigs.
So tomorrow, I'm at Sawdust Coffee House. I think Sturbridge. There's two locations. I'm at the Massachusetts one, not the Connecticut one. Then on the 28th, I got two shows. I'm at the District in Worcester from 6 to 9, and then Ale House Cigar from 9-ish to 12-ish, most likely 10 to 1 because I'm usually late for most things. Oh, by the way, this about me. I love cigars, which is really contradictory to what I should be doing.
Nothing wrong with cigars as long as you do them in moderation.
January 29th, which is Sunday, I'm at Foxborough, Wormtown, 1 to 4. And then you can see a whole bunch more on my website. February, I'm in Rhode Island a lot. Tilted Barn on the 2nd, Flat Smokehouse on the 3rd. By the way, that's some great barbecue at Flats. They're not even a sponsor. I just like them. They're good. They're very good to me over there. Yeah, I got
Great.
a bunch of shows all over New England. I play from New Hampshire to New York, so odds are you'll see me by accident somewhere.
Great. Well, you'll have to list those, those events. We see them occasionally on Facebook, Instagram, but keep doing that because that definitely gets people out to gigs. And that's what it's all about, folks. We want to get out there and support these local artists. They're really, the talent in Rhode Island amazes me. And we have a perfect example right here with Jake tonight. And you'll have to come on my radio show sometime, WRIU.
Mm-hmm.
Or have you ever been on any of the shows, the folk shows there?
I have not. And it's funny because I know a lot of folks who do, like associated or do work for, or did in the past as students work for the URI radio shows.
Yeah, you'll have to get on Boudin Dan. He's the real country guy. He's on tonight, actually, Thursday night, and he really appreciates the traditional roots of country, and that would be a good spot for you. Or my show. I'm having Keith McCurdy next week from Voodoo Sisters coming up.
No way.
Tuesday.
Voodoo Sisters, awesome. They're awesome.
One of the great bands in Rhode Island that a lot of people don't know about. So we'll talk more about. Well, maybe we'll have them on here on What's Up Noob sometime. Voodoo Sister. But listen, thank you very much, Jake, for joining us tonight. We'll get out and see you at a gig soon. Good luck tonight at the Parlor. I'm sure you'll do great. And again, check the website, therockbottomband.com, for more on Jake and his band. And we're going to try to schedule another one of these in a couple of weeks and see how they go here on What's Up Noob. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thanks, Jake.
Oh, thank you, Ken. You're the best. All right. Thanks for listening, folks.
Take care, everybody.